Brothers and sisters of America, we want to ask you a question. What does the word representation mean to you? You can hit pause and think about it for a minute. Okay, did any of you actually think about it? Fine. Be that way. Too cool for school. Well then, let us explain a few things. America is not a democracy. It is a constitutional republic. What that means, in a nutshell, is that we elect leaders to represent the interests of the people. The power resides with the people. The representatives are accountable to the people. That is, at least, how it should work in theory. In practice, America is a system increasingly ruled by an elite class. Representation of the people and, therefore, the will of the people, is now secondary to many competing interests. Chiefly, the two primary interests are 1. Retaining power and 2. Maintaining a business and economic advantage among corporations and the upper economic class. Both interests feed each other. The rich people and companies need Congress to maintain and pass laws that give them an advantage. Politicians need money to fund multi-million-dollar campaigns and to provide high-paying jobs for their post-congressional careers as lobbyists and advisors. Funders and political power, those are the primary drivers of policy. Your voice and your vote do not provide change. You are meant to be a consumer, to buy things, and to stay complacent and distracted. But we are not complacent. We see the corruption for what it is. The ineptitude of Congress to move forward with positive change is not a mistake. It is the logical result of special interests controlling lawmakers. So what can be done? A few things, although some of them are unpleasant. A not so terribly unpleasant idea is peaceful resistance. Do not vote. Ask yourself what casting a vote accomplishes. We will not make you pause and think about it because you have already proven that you would rather keep listening. Casting a vote in an election is supposed to be a signal of support for a representative, but with only 2 legitimate parties, there is really only the illusion of choice. The candidate has been vetted by the party and, more importantly, by the rich donors supporting their campaign. How likely is it that the issues you care about and the issues a billionaire cares about intersect? How likely is it that a candidate getting millions of dollars from a donor will, once in office, actually represent their voters? Not likely, would be our answer, and it is evident with the high levels of distrust and disappointment in government that many Americans feel the same way. So the answer is, do not vote. Voting gives legitimacy to a system that is already rigged against you. It is the illusion of a choice and the illusion of a change. You wouldn't play Monopoly with somebody who insisted on beginning with Boardwalk in Park Place. And also, they want to be the banker but will loan you a few dollars at a reasonable interest rate. That game would not be any fun. Our system of government, and the winners and losers created from it, is that game. So don't play it. If enough people do not vote, we can begin to delegitimize the system. Candidates will still get elected, but how strong will their mandate be? If they have lost the will of the governed, perhaps their influence will begin to erode. Electing true representatives may then begin to be a viable option. Representatives who campaign with grassroots efforts and by knowing their voters and by truly wanting to change the game. So do not vote. Not out of apathy, but out of outrage. Not out of laziness, but out of optimism. Not to surrender, but to fight. Spread the word, or don't, but consider it. Stop voting.